Welcome to our channel Learn Simple. In today's video, we are going to see about Agile versus traditional project management. If you are preparing for your PMP examination, I strongly recommend you to subscribe and hit on the bell icon so that I will be uploading the other parts of this video in the coming days. Let's quickly jump into some of the key concepts of the Agile versus the traditional project management. What is Agile? So when it comes to the Agile project management, where the bigger works is broken down into smaller increments so that the customer sees results in much early stages. Since it is a type of project management where close customer interaction is always encouraged and it is looked for always change. Whereas when it comes to the traditional project management, which is known as an waterfall approach, where customer will be seeing the results only at the end phases. Generally, these work structures are done either in a sequential or in linear approach. All the work structures are split into different phases like initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure. Let's understand this with a very simple example. So, when it comes to agile project management, let's take an example of software development. Generally, a software development, the scope will be defined, and few people, if you are familiar with using tools like Jira, you would have clearly seen that software updates. So basically, they will launch the first version, then slowly they will be adding the features on top of it, and they call it as an update. So where the customer sees the results much earlier, they don't have to wait for the entire software or the entire whole set to be released. By this method, customers start seeing the value for the investment they made. Whereas when we look into a construction of a building, let's assume a construction of a long-story building, where a traditional project management approach will be like kind of very suitable. Where we define the scope. Let's say, for example, the scope is really fixed. Uh, if at all we are planning to build a 20-story building, it's going to be a 20-story building. The scope is fixed for 20-story building. The customer will be able to use this project or start seeing the value only at the end. I guess this example will help you to remember the initial concept slide which I explained to you. Let's deep dive into the differences in specific. When it comes to Agile, is built in increments. So basically, Agile is something where the entire scope is built into increments. I would like to requote the example which I stated in the previous slide. Coming to the software development, the updates are given in increments. Whereas in traditional management plan, you will be seeing the entire scope as the one-time delivery. So coming to the second difference, Agile planning is done throughout the project. Since the project is done in increment, the projects will be released in phases or updates will be released in phases, which requires planning at each stages. Whereas with respect to the traditional project management, the planning will be done only during the start of the project, maybe during the initiation phase. The third very clear difference is Agile delivers product over a period of time. So the customer don't have to wait for the entire journey. Whereas with respect to the traditional PM, the delivery is done only at once, which is the end of the closure phase. And the fourth difference is the value is seen faster, whereas with respect to traditional project management, the value is seen only at the end. So if you are the product owner, you would be interested to see the value at much faster rather than to wait for years to see the value on the investment you made. So that's why Agile seems to be the most popular project management in recent days. Agile encourage changes, whereas traditional project management discourage changes. Since as I rightly mentioned during the initial presentation, Agile is the project management strategy where you'll be closely interacting with the customers. So, generally people wants to have their views to be taken into account. So when you interact with customer, you want them to give a continuous feedback on the project. So in Agile, you'll be expecting a continuous feedback from the customer and you want it. Whereas with traditional project management, you want to clearly define scope at the first phase and there is a strong change management policy which is in place to accept the changes. These concepts I will explain little in depth in my upcoming video. Uh, this is the first video which I'm going to make from this channel. I hope you all enjoy this video. I kindly request you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I'll be making series of videos with respect to PMP preparation. If you are willing to do a PMP certification along with me, I hope this video will help you. Hit on to the bell icon and stay tuned for our next video. Thank you.